Have you ever stopped to imagine how people managed to cook their meals 200 years ago without gas, electricity, or any modern appliances? No knobs to turn, no electric ovens, no microwaves, and certainly no instant coffee or air fryers. Yes. Yet, despite lacking technology, they prepared meals that were flavorful, nutritious, and sometimes even more wholesome than what we eat today. In this video, we're going to step back into the early 1800s and explore the fascinating world of cooking before gas stoves existed. It's from open fires to clay ovens, from iron pots to wooden spoons. We'll uncover how our ancestors mastered the art of cooking with nothing but natural resources, hard-earned skills, and a deep respect for food. So let's light up this virtual hearth and see what's cooking. Now let's get to the video. The aroma of wood smoke hangs in the crisp morning air. It's mingling with the sweet scent of pine and the damp smell of dew-kissed earth. A rooster crows in the distance, marking the start of a new day. In this world untouched by the hum of modern appliances, the rising sun casts long shadows as a family stirs into life, ready to embrace the rhythm of a day on the early 1800s farm. Before the sun has fully risen, the first task of the day is to build the fire. Firewood wasn't just fuel, it was survival. Families collected dry sticks and logs from nearby forests, storing them carefully to avoid moisture. Knowing which would burn hot, which burned slow, and which created less smoke was considered essential knowledge. Lighting the fire was an art in itself. There were no lighters or gas ignition buttons. People used flint and steel to create sparks, or sometimes embers from the previous day's fire, kept glowing under ashes overnight. Once the flames were alive, they were carefully maintained throughout the day. Relighting a fire took time, so women often timed their meals around keeping the fire going strong. Cooking was an all-day affair, starting early in the morning and continuing well into the afternoon. It was not just about preparing food, it was about harnessing the power of fire. Men and women alike understood the importance of tending to the fire, ensuring it burned steadily and efficiently. It was a skill passed down through generations, ensuring the continuation of this vital practice. With the fire established, it was time to start the cooking process. In many homes, the primary cooking tool was the open hearth. Imagine a wide open fireplace, not for decoration, but for everyday use. The hearth was where food was cooked, where warmth was generated, and where families gathered. Cast iron pots and pans hung above the fire, waiting to be placed on the flames. Each pot had its purpose, from deep Dutch ovens used for stews and breads to smaller saucepans for sauces and gravies. These weren't just cooking vessels, they were tools that played a crucial role in creating nourishing meals. In other parts of the world, the scene might shift to a clay stove, often called a chula. These were low, flat-top structures made from mud, cow dung, and straw. Smoke from the fire would escape through a chimney, helping to keep the home free of smoke. The design was simple, but brilliant. Trapped and directed heat toward the cooking pot, making meals cook faster even with minimal flame. Now picture this, a family gathered around their clay stove. A mother stirs a bubbling pot of stew, while her children patiently wait for their midday meal. The father, having finished his work in the fields, joins them, sharing stories of the day as they enjoy their warm, hearty lunch. The scene isn't just about cooking, it's about community, family, and the shared experience of a meal. It's a reminder of the social aspect of cooking, something often lost in our modern kitchens. As the fire crackled and popped, its warmth embraced those gathered near it. The savory aromas of roasting meat and simmering vegetables filled the air, teasing the palate and building anticipation for the feast to come. But cooking was more than just placing food on a fire. It was a test of patience, timing, and intuition. An experienced cook could tell when a fire was hot enough to sear a piece of meat without burning it. They knew how to layer ingredients to ensure even cooking, and how to read the gentle boil of a broth. They understood the subtle cues that indicated when a dish was nearing perfection. This wasn't cooking by recipe, but by instinct, a honed sense developed over years of experience. And what about the tools of the trade? No whisks, no food processors, no electric mixers. Wooden spoons and spatulas stirred and mixed. Mortars and pestle ground spices and herbs. Rolling pins and pastry cutters were the tools of choice for doughs and batters. Simple, rustic, yet highly effective. Every tool had its place, its purpose, its story. Even the humble oven held a special place. Picture a brick or stone chamber, heated by the very same fire that fueled the day. This wasn't your standard oven with precise temperature controls. It was a space where embers glowed, radiating heat that transformed raw ingredients into culinary delights. From baking bread to slow roasting meats, the oven was a patient giant, transforming food and filling the home with mouth-watering scents. But what did they actually eat? Was it bland, monotonous, fare, or a testament to human ingenuity and resourcefulness? Well, the answer lies somewhere in between. Life 200 years ago wasn't without its challenges, and food often reflected this. Staple crops like potatoes, grains, and root vegetables formed the foundation of many meals. However, these humble ingredients were elevated by the culinary skills of those who prepared them. A simple potato could be roasted to golden perfection, its skin crackling, revealing fluffy, buttery insides. Grains were ground into flour, creating breads, cakes, and pastries that were as comforting as they were filling. Hearty stews and soups combined whatever was available, creating dishes that were not just nutritious, but soul-warming. It wasn't about fancy ingredients or exotic spices. It was about making the most of what was available and turning it into something satisfying. For instance, in a time when refrigeration was unheard of, preserving food was an essential skill. Techniques like smoking, drying, pickling, and fermenting were employed not just to extend the life of food, but to enhance its flavor and nutritional value. Smoked meats lasted longer, and their rich, smoky flavor became a prized delicacy. Dried fruits and herbs retained their essence, ready to be rehydrated or ground into fragrant powders. Fermented foods like yogurt and sourdough not only added variety to the diet, but also provided beneficial bacteria that aided digestion. Preservation was more than a culinary technique. It was a way of life. It ensured that food was available not just during harvest season, but throughout the year, providing sustenance and comfort in times of need. It's important to note that this wasn't a one-size-fits-all experience. Different regions, cultures, and economic situations would have influenced daily life and eating habits. Coastal communities might have had access to fresh fish, while mountainous regions relied more on hardy root vegetables. And in the bustling cities of the industrial era, immigrants from various countries brought their culinary traditions, creating a melting pot of flavors. Life 200 years ago was challenging, but the resilience, ingenuity, and resourcefulness of people during that era are evident in every aspect of their lives, including how they cooked their meals. Despite the lack of modern conveniences, they managed not just to survive, but to create flavorful, nourishing dishes using simple techniques and readily available ingredients. They understood the importance of preserving food, ensuring that meals were not just about sustenance, but also a celebration of community and cultural heritage. Their resourcefulness continues to inspire us today, reminding us that the best meals aren't always about the fanciest ingredients or the latest gadgets, but about the love, care, and creativity put into every dish. Well, friends, we've come to the end of our journey back in time. As we continue to explore and learn about our world, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video. Your support helps us bring more captivating content on history and skills from the past. Thanks for joining us. Keep learning and stay curious. Till next time, goodbye.